if you have an apple tree in your garden, or if you're just trying to make the best use of the abundance of the apple harvest, you probably are looking for ways to preserve the apple harvest, because there's only so much applesauce and apple butter you can make and really enjoy. So today I'm going to show you my favorite way to preserve the apple harvest, and that is a canned apple pie filling. The reason I love this so much is because you can have a fresh, homemade, cozy apple pie all year round. You're making the canned apple pie filling, and all you really need to do at that point is make a crust, open a can of apple pie filling, and you are on your way to a delicious apple pie. Before I'm gonna start peeling the apples, I'm gonna prepare my pot of water over here. So I have some water in here already. It's not a whole lot, but it will just be enough. And you know that, especially if you have your own apples versus store-bought varieties that have been bred for not browning and holding up and having a crisp looking skin, but often they lack a lot of flavor. So anyways, if you have your own apples, you'll know that they brown really quickly once you cut them up. That's why I like to add the lemon juice to my water already. And this is some lemon juice I still had from another recipe. I want to add a little bit more, so I'm pressing some more apple juice here. This, by the way, is a Meyer lemon from our garden. And then I'm adding that. I was trying to keep the seeds out. Okay, and here is the fun task of peeling the apples. I always like to do it in this fashion right here. And I do like saving the peels and the cores for the simple reason that you can easily make your own apple cider vinegar from them. And then I can just cut the slices right into my lemon water. There'll be no browning. And I'll just work my way through my about 2 pounds of apples for this recipe. Here's my apple slices, and you can really use pretty much any apple for this. I love the heirloom varieties because I think they're so full of flavor. However, tart, firm apples, in my opinion, work really well. However, you just cook them down a little bit more. And if you have a sweet apple or an apple that doesn't have a lot of flavor, you can always add a little bit more lemon juice. Lemon juice will also preserve your canned apple pie filling as well as the sugar. The lemon juice already is in here, and as you can hear, probably already got my burner going, and we're going to bring this to a boil. I can also at this point already add my sugar. You can add anywhere from 2 to 6 tablespoons of sugar. Again, that really depends on the type of apples that you're using and how sweet you like your apple pie filling. We don't like it particularly sweet, and I always think that if it's not sweet enough, you can always add a little bit more sugar later when you're actually making your apple pie. Also, it kind of depends on which particular recipe you're using, so you can just, you know, use a good amount and then you can always adjust from there. We'll stir this in. And then I'm already adding my cinnamon. I mean, what's an apple pie without cinnamon? And I would go for 2 teaspoons. I'm the queen of eyeballing, so I don't like to measure very often. And there are recipes in which it's really important that you measure out the exact ingredients. This is not one of them. And all you're doing now is just watching it, bringing it to a boil, and cook the apples until they're soft. Since we're canning this, the sugar will help preserve the canned apple pie filling, and so does the lemon juice. The lemon juice also helps preserve the color of the apples. And cooking it down really basically inactivates anything that's in there that's gonna not make your canned apple pie filling last. Apples are looking really good. They're very soft already. This has been boiling for maybe 5 minutes, but I already cut the pieces pretty small. If you have thicker, bigger pieces, they might cook a little bit longer until they're soft. In the past, I have also used cornstarch for the canned apple pie filling. I'm not doing that anymore. There's some concern about the cornstarch not being very stable. If you wanted to add a thickener, you can add clear gel or pectin. However, I don't need that. What I'm going to do is whenever I'm ready to bake my apple pie, all I do is I either add the cornstarch then to my liquid, or I just add regular flour, because that will also thicken up the liquid. And now I'm ready to can. I have simply washed my cans with hot water. I have an entire video about why I'm not using the water bath canning method or the pressure cooker method. And I have another video in which I'm talking about why I'm not afraid of botulism. So you do whatever you feel is safest for you and your family. However, I just washed them really hot, and let me turn off the heat here. I'll bring this over so I don't have to touch a hot jar. And then I simply fill this in here. These ones with the big belly are a little bit deceiving because you can't really see how much you have in there. Just a tad more, just because it is a pretty jar. Close that right away. So ideally, you have a little bit more in here. So what I'll do is I'll add a few more over here to make it a little fuller, and then we'll simply use that one a little sooner. And then I put my lid on. This one, I guess I'll just keep in the refrigerator. And if you keep them in a cool, dark place, this will easily last you a year if you're not going to eat it any sooner. If you're looking for ideas of what to do with your fresh canned apple pie filling, I have a German apple strudel recipe over here that would be perfect for this. Thank you so much for watching and joining me in my kitchen, and I'll see you in the next video.